Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Deidre and you are on the Thrill of the Flip. I am the creator here and I love to take thrifted items, free items, and remake them into something more modern and more beautiful. If that sounds like something that you would enjoy, please be sure and stay tuned. Okay, my friends, for today's first project, I had people, recently sold a pot that I flipped to make it look concrete. And my friends wanted me to show how I did it. So that's what this video is today. So I had this pot, and as you could see, I did something else with it and didn't like it and ripped it off and whatnot. So we're going to use this pot. And what I'm going to do for my first step is I am just going to paint the entire pot black. I'm also going to paint the inside as well, because this pot does not have a hole in the bottom. So if you put a real plant in it, you will have to either drill a hole in the bottom, or you will have to put stones in the bottom for drainage. And I would recommend that for this type of project where I'm painting the inside, to use a faux plant in here. Even though I'm going to seal my paint, I would not use a real plant in this planter. If you wanted to put a real plant, then you just would not paint the inside of the pot. But because I had red paint on the inside and it was also blue, that's why I chose to just paint the entire pot. All right, so we've got our paint on the inside, and now I'm just gonna turn it, and I'm just gonna paint the outside. This should be fun because it's rolling and I can't really hold it. I have it on my my Lazy Susan, which is probably not a good idea. I'm going to stand it up. All right, my paint is dry. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take a few different colors of gray chalk paint. I'm going to start with my darkest color first, and this is Folk Art in the color Maui Sand. Now, I guess Maui Sand is a gray color because it's definitely not a regular sand color. It's pretty dark. So I'm going to pour some in a container. And then I am going to add salt wash. Now what salt wash does is when you add it to your paint, it gives you a lot of texture in your paint. If you do not have salt wash, you can get the same type of effect with baking soda. So I'm just going to add a scoop. Come on, come out of there. It doesn't want to come out. I'm going to stir that and see how the consistency is. If I need more, I can add more. See that? Look at that. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more paint to it because it's pretty thick. Just a little bit more. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stiff brush. All right, so now I'm going to take my mixture and I am going to dab it all over the pot. That's how you get that nice texture going on. All right, guys, our textured paint, I actually just let it dry overnight. You really do want it to be completely dry. If you don't wait for it to dry before you add your other colors on, you will end up smashing down all of your texture. So I would definitely just let it dry overnight. So I'm going to start adding some other colors in here. I have a folk art castle, it's called. I'm going to add a little bit of this, if I can get it open. Now, I'm not mixing anything in with these paints. I only did the texture for the first coat. And then I have Hazy by Folk Art. And I have, this one is called Silver Shadow. So I'm just going to dip. It's basically, you just play around, guys. And just like dab all over your item. And then you'll go to your like next color and add to this one. You know, wherever you have like too much of one color, you can cover it up with another and just kind of like blend it in. But you definitely want to use an old brush or a stiffer brush for this. And I don't switch brushes when I go to the next color. I just keep using the same brush. And basically, that's all you're going to do. You're just going to keep dabbing on color until you get the look that you want. And you could always also go back over with your original color that we mixed the salt wash in to blend even further. So, because we want it to look like concrete. So, concrete has a lot of different colors. So, we're going to just keep playing around here. But I'm going to fast forward. Or not fast forward. I'm just going to speed it up. All right, I am done with all of my paints, and now I am going to seal this. First, I'm going to put a clear wax on it. No, actually, let me rephrase that. I'm going to take it outside, and I am going to give it a coat of weather defense spray. This way, it will be protected, and this is fantastic. You could use this on basically anything. So I'm going to take it outside and give it a couple coats of the weather defense. Once that's dry, we're going to come back and we're going to put a coat of white wax on top. And it'll be much easier to wipe back the white wax once I have this sealed with the weather defense. All right, so I gave this a couple coats of weather defense. And now I am going to add some white wax. I am just going to actually, I need a chip brush. Kind of hard to fit in my my wax tin. Yeah, you want the stiffer bristles to get into all the little nooks and crannies that we created with our salt wash paint. Whoa, get back here. I am not done with you yet. The only thing I hate about chip brushes is they lose their bristles and it gets in your work. I want a little bit more right there. Okay. Now I will take a clean shop towel and we will wipe back the excess and get rid of the bristles. That's why you really want to make sure that your first coat of salt wash paint is completely dry, because you're going to be doing this, rubbing back your wax and everything, and you don't want to ruin all of your details that you did with the salt wash paint. Oh, this looks great. Look at that, guys. Okay, guys, moving on to project number 2. I got this cutting board at the thrift store, and as you could see, it was a dark brown stain. So what I did is I took it outside and I sanded it, mostly to scuff it up so that it would take paint. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to be using milk paint. And the color I'm using is called Cheshire, and it is a beautiful pale green. This is Sweet Pickins milk paint, and this is the Jamie Ray Vintage line of colors. So, I have already mixed my milk paint. It's equal parts paint powder, because milk paint is a powder, paint powder, and just room temperature water. And you just mix it really well for 2 minutes and then set it aside to thicken for about 10 minutes. and it should be the consistency of a wet milkshake. I already have my paint mixed because I had started a different project with it and I had issues. So I am moving on to this instead. So what I'm going to do before I actually paint this with my milk paint is I'm going to paint it with this beautiful dark brown Dixie Belle chalk mineral paint called Coffee Bean. Because when the milk paint crackles and chips, I want you to see a dark color underneath. So we're going to start painting this with our Coffee Bean color. And I'm trying to find my popsicle sticks so that I can stir my paint up before I start. Okay, there we go. All right, we're going to grab a brush here, and we are going to get painting. All right, we have our, this is 1 coat of Coffee Bean. It is a very dark brown with maybe a little bit of a black hue to it. I love this color. All right, so now we are going to add our milk paint on top of the Coffee Bean. So my milk paint, hopefully I have enough for the entire project because I have been using it on other projects that I started and couldn't finish because I had issues. So that'll be for another video. I am actually going to give this a spritz of water because the paint is grabbing and it's not going on smooth. It's pulling up the other, it's pulling up the paint. Yeah, you'll feel it like grabbing, which it's doing right now because I'm overworking it. So that's my fault. Okay. I have my first coat on one side, and now I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. This is where the magic happens. You never know what you're going to get with milk paint. I feel like Forrest Gump. Like the box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But it's true. Because sometimes it'll chip and crack, and sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll just do it a little bit. Sometimes it'll do it a lot. So it all depends. But I already see some wonderful cracking going on here. Oh, you could see it. Look at that, guys. Oh, I love me some milk paint. Guys, this is what we have after 2 coats of our milk paint, drying in between each coat with the heat gun. Now, I don't want to lose all of this beautiful chippiness, so I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to give it a couple coats of shellac, and then we'll come back and do the next step. Okay, guys, the next step in this project is, as I said, I gave it a couple coats of shellac, and I am going to give it a light sand with some 220 grit sandpaper, just to, if anything is going to chip off, I want it to chip off now. And Oh my gosh, the chippiness on this piece is awesome. And look at the crazing, guys. Oh, I can't wait to hit that with some dark wax. I don't have any more aging wax, so I have to use my dark wax. So I'm just going to give this a little sand. And I'm going to be adding transfers on here. You know what? I think I'm going to take it outside and brave the weather and just sand this the way I want to sand it. So I'll be back. All right, this is how I wanted it sanded. So I would have been here like for hours trying to do that by hand. So I just used my rotary sander. So I have these beautiful IOD transfers, and they are from the Wild Blowman transfer book. And this I am going to put on here. I'm trying to figure out how I want it. Yeah, I think that'll be good. All right, so you peel off your backing sheet, and then we are going to place this press it down. And you want to make sure after you sand your piece that you wipe it down and get rid of any of the dust, because your transfer will not stick if your surface is not clean. So you just rub all over your transfer with your transfer stick. I just rub over the whole transfer, and I hold it down with one hand so it doesn't move or anything. And then once I get the whole thing rubbed over, then I will pick a corner and start lifting up and rubbing. So as you can see, let me turn this way. There we go. And you just pick up as you're rubbing, and it helps to release your transfer. This is actually coming off really well on this milk paint. So this is transferring just beautifully. If you find there's a piece that didn't transfer, just lay it back down and rub over it until it transfers. You'll see it stuck to your backing sheet. See that one? That piece didn't transfer. Same with that one. Transfers are a way to just add so much beauty to a piece. And they can be pricey, but they are so worth it. I still have pieces coming off, even though I sanded it. All right, and then I have a couple butterflies that I want to put on here. This one, I think I'm going to... No, I don't know. Where do I want to put it? Here? Let me... Yeah, I think that's good. And then you always want to rub over your transfer with your sheet and burnish everything in. It gets rid of any bubbles, or it makes sure that it's adhered well to your surface. I really would like to add this one. I could put it down here in the corner. I think I'm going to. I think this will be great. I'm thinking I may put something on the other side as well. That way, you know, you could, you know, switch the look. So let me pick out another transfer for this side. I just wanted to share with you guys, I did a rolling pin for the first time with milk paint because I had extra and I didn't want to waste it. And oh my word, this came out absolutely gorgeous. I will definitely be making more rolling pins with the milk paint. And this has to be my favorite color to date. Beautiful. All right, now it is time to add our dark wax to bring out all of that beautiful crazing and crackling. You can use any dark wax you like. What I have right now is Chalk Teak Dark Paste Wax. I'm just going to put it on, going in all directions, because you know you have to seal your milk paint and your chalk paint and your transfers. So for something like this, I definitely like the dark wax. Now, yes, I did seal it with the shellac to stop further chipping, but you still have to seal your transfer in. All right, let me get my shop towel and we will wipe this back. Oh, you guys. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is fabulous. Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me wipe off the handle here. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is just great. All right, I am going to do the other side. All right, guys, for our third and final project, I have this, it was a sign that I picked up at the thrift store. And I originally had put some decoupage paper on here, and then I didn't like the way it looked. So what I did is I sanded it really well with my rotary sander. And then I came in with some Fusion mineral paint in the color Eucalyptus, which, by the way, is my new favorite color. And I gave this 2 coats. I am going to put some transfers on here. But before I put my transfers on, I'm going to do some stamping. And this is the set here. Now, if you've never used your set of stamps from IOD, they ask that you lightly sand over your stamp with some fine grit sandpaper, just so that it will accept ink. I have already used these, so I don't need to do that. But what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to stamp the word welcome up here at the top. I'm going to pull out yeah. I forgot what it's called. But I'm going to spell out welcome. Okay, then I'm going to take my clear plastic sheet, which these will stick to. Okay, now what I will do is I will come back and make sure that everything is even. I forget what the darn sheet's called. It actually looks pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to take my Stays On ink in black. And I'm going to stamp my letters. Make sure that they have enough ink. Then I am going to turn it over and I'm going to place it where I want it. Oh, my W moved. Okay, and then I have this neat little tool. I got it on Amazon. I can't remember what it's called, but my letters did not stick to my sheet very well. So they did move, which I'm probably going to have to come in and fix that. I'm going to try, I saw Yvonne over at Ginger Chick Rehab. She did this with this tape, with packing tape. And she stuck the letters down on here. I have to do it this way to try to get them lined up. And then she makes like a little handle here at the end. I just have to see if I can get this done. This should not be that difficult, guys. For some reason, my letters will not stick to this plastic sheet that they're supposed to stick to. I don't know why. Maybe they got dirty. I don't know, but we're going to keep trying to get these on here. And I'm leaving all this in for you guys so you could see where there's a will, there is a way. And I am going to win at some point. All right, there we go. Okay, now I will stamp my letters. I should not be stamping them on my project, but at this point, all right, so I got to make room. Let me make sure this is centered and straight. And I'm not doing it again, so it is what it is. If letters are crooked, they're crooked. All right, now I just have to do my E. All right, let me put some more ink on my E. Yay! Woohoo! Give myself a hand! Okay, so now it's time to put our transfers on. And I have decided on how I want these. These are from the Iron Orchid Design spring release called Transfer Katharina. So this is going to go on here like this. Now, the Fusion paint, which I painted on here, has a built-in sealer and primer. So I do not have to seal my paint, but I will have to seal my transfers and, of course, my ink. Even though it is permanent ink, I still like to seal it. All right, let's see how we doing here. Okay guys, so to finish this project up, I'm going to go around the edges with my finger sander and do a little bit of distressing. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, what's left is to seal in our transfers and our ink, even though it's not going to go anywhere. It is permanent ink. I'm sorry, I keep knocking my tripod. So we are going to seal this in. Okay, change in plans. I decided to take some Tim Holtz Distress ink in walnut, and I'm going to go around all the edges that I just distressed with this first. Just gives it that really cool aged look, which I love. I love how this looks. There we go. Love that. All right, now, because this has a tendency to smear if you brush on a sealer, I'm going to take this outside very quickly, and I am going to give it a coat of weather defense spray. And that will complete this project. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts of my 3 projects that I did today in the comments below. If you're not subscribed, please consider becoming a subscriber of my channel. And if you do, please hit the notification bell so YouTube will let you know anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.